Salutations, crustaceans. I'm Lobster, and today we're going to be reviewing the brand new P8 5-string from Sire. Let's do this. This is the brand new P8 5-string from Sire, and it is one of the best all-around basses that I have played for 2023. We will go over why when we talk about the specs and when we play it. But first, big thank you to Sire for providing this bass for review. I really appreciate it. Now, Sire has the P7, which has been around since the first generation of Sires. It comes in a 4-string and a 5-string, as well as fretless variants. We've reviewed the Sire P7 fretless 4-string, and that was a very positive review. It was a well-constructed instrument and sounded killer with that P pickup and the lacquered fingerboard with flat wounds. However, today we are going to be looking at the brand new P8 5-string, which is an upgrade over the P7 in many ways. But are there enough changes here to justify the price premium over the P7 5-string? We will be answering that today. Now let's talk about the specs of our Sire P8 5-string. The body here is an ash body, and this is in the natural finish. There are 2 other finish options available with the vintage white and the sunburst. Now, the ash option is no longer available for the P7, and that did carry a price premium over the regular P7, so this is essentially replacing that and offering quite a few more upgrades on top of just the ash body. The pearloid pickguard here is the same for all 3 finishes, and it contrasts the natural finish very nicely. I think this is one of the best looking Sires in my opinion. For electronics, we have the same pickups and preamp that we see in the Sire P7. The pickups are the Super PJ Revolution set, and the preamp is the Heritage 3-band that we see in pretty much every active Sire product. I've praised the P pickup in the fretless configuration. Go ahead and check out that review, linked down below for the P7. That's a great sounding bass, by the way. And I also praised the J pickup for being noiseless in the 60s position and sounding very nice, both paired with the P pickup as well as solo. The preamp, again, is the same preamp that we get in all Sire products that have a preamp. We have a stacked volume and tone control, a master blend control, and then a 3-band preamp with a variable mid control. We also have a bypass to bypass the EQ, but you still get to use the passive tone control, which is always a nice touch. For the bridge, this is the brand new Sire Marcus Miller Heavy Mass 2 bridge. And this closely resembles something like a Badass or a Kick-Ass bridge from Hipshot, or one of those Fender high mass bridges. It's clearly gunning for that, and I think they did a very good job here. You have a large contact patch, tons of intonation adjustment, and the option to string through the body as well as string through the bridge. String spacing here, I believe, is 18 millimeters. And then moving on to the neck. This is another big differentiator from the Sire P7. We have a roasted maple on roasted maple neck. It has the same cream binding and the pearloid blocks as we get in the P7, but I think it looks great here with the roasted maple neck. We have truss rod adjustment here at the heel of the neck like most Sires, and it makes it easy to adjust the neck on the go without needing to detune your strings. This is a 34-inch scale instrument. It has 21 frets, a 9.5-inch radius, as well as a 46mm nut width. We have a very comfortable neck profile overall, though it is a little bit slimmer than what you get in the P5 5-string. Another really nice thing about this neck, as well as all 3rd generation Sires, is you have the new edgeless design. It's basically more rolled than before, and boy is it comfortable. I'm also happy to say that the fretwork here is much better than we saw in 2nd generation Sires. It looks like they've taken some of that feedback to heart and improved their fretwork pretty dramatically. I've criticized the fretwork in my V7 Vintage as well as in my P10 reviews, because for those price points, the fretwork really should be better, and I was getting some notes choking out at certain points on both instruments. I got them plecked and they both play wonderfully now, but this particular bass here is set up wonderfully out of the box and the fretwork was great. And then moving up to the headstock, we have a 5-string string tree here retaining all 5 strings, and the Sire Marcus Miller standard headstock for a 5-string. We have a 4x1 tuner configuration with the standard Marcus Miller Sire tuners. These aren't the lightest tuners in the world, but they do hold their tune well and work well. We also have the nice Marcus Miller branding on the headstock with the silver font that looks nice, contrasting the roasted maple. Now let's go ahead and turn this bass around. Around back, we see some nice improvements here over a second generation P7. We have this gorgeous natural finish with the ash body. We can see the gorgeous grain all over the place. We have the 5 string ferrules because this is a string through body instrument, but you can string through the bridge as well. And we are currently strung through the body with the Stay in Tune nickel foundation strings, gauges 45 to 125. And then we have a battery box. That's right, we have a double battery box here for our 18-volt preamp. And this makes for easy battery swaps. This is a new design and it works great. I criticized the second generation Sires for having just a plate over the battery cavity that required 4 screws, and it had flimsy battery connectors as well. And that was constant across all active Sires. So for the new third generation, all Sire basses are going to now be coming with this battery box. If you're looking to purchase a Sire, I'd recommend getting a new one because it comes with stuff like this. Though that being said, ones without this are probably heavily discounted as well, and those are great instruments too. And then moving up to the neck, we see the back of this gorgeous roasted maple neck. It has a ever so slight flame to it, though it's not advertised as a flamed roasted maple neck, but it is a beautiful and comfortable neck nonetheless. We have a satin finish across the back of the neck, but the fingerboard has a gloss finish. And then moving up to the headstock, we see the back of these Sire open gear tuners, as well as some markings indicating that this has been made in Indonesia, like all Sire basses. Now, how much does our Sire P8 weigh? This particular example comes in at 9.5 pounds. I would say that's pretty average, if not a little bit below average for an ash body bass here. A 5-string with a high mass bridge and all that good stuff. The first generation of Sires, especially the ones with the ash bodies, were known for being boat anchors at around 11 pounds. However, Sire has gotten the weight of their instruments under control in the second generation, and I believe all the Sires that I have here are all 9.5 pounds or under, and most of them are sitting around the 9-pound range. But as we all know, weight doesn't matter if the bass does not balance well. And I've criticized Sires before for the heavy tuners causing a bit of neck dive, and that we have remedied multiple times with a set of lightweight tuners. We've done hipshot installs as well as more recently the Goto GB528, which is a drop-in tuner replacement for our Sire basses here and reduces the headstock weight dramatically. So let's see how our Sire P8 5-string balances. In the lap, we do get a bit of neck dive, though I don't find myself fighting the neck or thinking about holding it up or anything. That being said, again, it could be remedied with a set of lighter weight tuners. On the lap with a strap, it is overall well balanced. Like I'm leaning back a little bit and putting some pressure on the strap, and I really don't feel it tugging on the strap that much, though it is still diving a bit. And then standing up, I don't have any neck dive issues whatsoever. This is a well balanced instrument on a strap. And finally, how much does the Sire P8 cost? The 4-string model comes in at $899 and the 5-string model comes in at $999. I would say that the Sire P8's primary competition is the Fender Player Plus series as well as the Sadowski RSD PJ series. Those have been revised and they are going to be coming out with a big revision for 2023. We will be checking those out later on this year, and we'll be doing a comparison with the Sire P8 as well for a 5-string PJ example. These instruments also come with the Sire Gig Bag, the really nice, very sturdy Sire Gig Bag. I made a separate video just about the Gig Bag because I love that thing so much. They're really inexpensive for what you're getting. I believe they're only about $60 or $70. And compared to something that you would get from like Fender or from like Guitar Center or something like that, you are getting something with structure, padding, and support for your instrument. So high quality gig bag for not a lot of money. It's very similar to like a mono case, but like way less money. Now, one other big competitor for this bass, which is still being offered, is the P7 5-string. Those are coming in at, I believe, $753 for the 5-string model, compared to $999 for the P8. The upgrades that you get are the bridge, the body material with the ash body, as well as the roasted maple neck here. You also get the case with the P8, where you don't get that with the P7. But how does the playing experience stack up with the P7? Let's find out. You all know what you need to do. Go ahead and hit that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. That is our Sire P8 5-string. Now, I could probably turn the gain up ever so slightly in the control cavity, as there is a gain control for this preamp. However, I just don't want it right now, so forget about it. But this is a great sounding bass overall, and nice sounding PJ. In my opinion, the 60s PJ setup, where you have the bridge pickup a little bit closer to the P versus something closer to the bridge, and with the hum canceling J pickup, I think you get the best tone overall. Sometimes I find the PJs with a single coil a bit harsh and a bit tinny, especially when you're engaging that J pickup. But with this particular setup, I think it sounds great. Oh man, and there is a lot to go through with this bass. We have the Sire preamp that has a load of different tones we can go through, and these PJ pickups that are very different from one another. Let's start out with the split coil P pickup here. This is a 5-string Fender style pickup. Those of you who are looking to tinker and mod, be sure you get a Fender sized pickup. Don't get a symmetrical 5-string P pickup, as it will not fit without modification. Here's what this P pickup sounds like, the tone at 100% and the preamp centered. I don't know what that was, but it was a lot of fun to play on this Sire P8 here. I think this P pickup sounds nice and does a great job of getting that P tone. It does a great job pairing with this preamp as well. Now, I criticize the Sire P5, the regular one, for not having enough oomph. But paired with the preamp, this pickup kind of gets a little bit more booty behind it. And if you wanted to add additional low end, you have this 3-band EQ. Oh man, let's center the EQ, I just did that for fun, and let's take the tone down to about 50% now. I wish the tone control had a center detent. That would just be like an added little thing, because it would make my life easy. Other than that, it would have no benefit, so... Oh, nice sounding P pickup. Again, pairs nicely with this preamp. Let's turn the tone back up and mess with this preamp a little bit, see what kind of different tones we can get. Let's try to get a more aggressive P sound. I'm going to turn down the bass just a smidge. Turn up the treble, another smidge. But that's missing a bit of meat, so let's use this mid control and turn that up. And let's play with the mid-frequency control a bit, as it is currently centered. Oh yeah, boosting those low mids gives you a real nice tone here. Now let's do it the other way. Oh, I have too much fun. Let's now do the opposite. So let's try to get a fatter P tone. I'm going to bring the treble down a smidge. So we're going to go below center, and we're going to boost our low mids and our bass ever so slightly. I think that is a little too dark. Let's change our mid-frequency a bit and bring that higher. Oh yeah, that is a nice tone there. And we can obviously play with the tone control at the same time. But we're not going to spend too much time on this P pickup because there are many more tones to look at or listen to or whatever. Let's go over to our bridge pickup now and center our preamp. So here is our noiseless jazz pickup that's in the 60s position, soloed with the tone at 100% and our preamp centered. would say nice sounding J pickup. Overall, I think the P is the star of the show here, and then the PJ configuration sounds nice as well. But this isn't really capturing, the classic jazz bass bridge pickup tone. It does sound nice though. Let's take our tone control down to about 50% now. And here's the tone all the way down. And let's turn the tone back up. I'm not going to mess around with the preamp on the bridge pickup because I want to get to the both pickups together mode. Very nice PJ tone out of this. I really dig this combination. I feel like the fretwork has improved dramatically over the last generation Sires, though I am still getting a little bit of fret buzz on the low end. Could be like a setup thing, I could fine tune this a little bit more. I think I have it honed in pretty well though. I'm probably going to get it plecked at some point. Plecking is awesome, just saying. For any basses, cheap basses or not cheap basses, pleck them. If you like them. All I'm saying is, if you like it, then you better put a pleck on it. Whoa. Let's turn our tone down to about 50% now with both pickups engaged and the preamp centered. And here's the tone all the way down. Oh, yes. I like this bass a lot. Let's turn the tone control back up, and let's boost our bass control a little bit, see what that sounds like. And then let's cut the treble ever so slightly. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, but this sounds good. I think this is a great sounding configuration right here. A very like round full tone that can fit in a lot of different scenarios here. And then of course you can kind of take it in the other direction and get a more gnarly, trebly, mid-heavy tone, like a high mid growly tone. This is a real flexible instrument, and just like with the P7, I think it's one that can fit a lot of different scenarios very well. But now let's center our preamp and go through the pick playing portion of our review real quick, starting with the P pickup. Here's our pick, here's our P, let's play. Oh, great P tone with this pick here. I think this is a nice sounding P pickup, as I've already said like 5 times. Let's move on to the J pickup soloed with our pick. Not bad, not bad. I think when you're really digging in, I feel like the radiused bridge action to compensate for the radius neck really needs some radiused pull pieces on the jazz pickup here. I think the middle pulls kind of need to be raised up a little bit to get more even output on the middle string. Yeah, you definitely notice a little bit of a output difference on that middle string there soloing the jazz pickup. That being said, I'm probably not going to find myself soloing the jazz pickup on an instrument like this, and the P pickup is probably going to have more action. With that, you can adjust the heights of the 2 halves individually and get a radius thing going. Now let's go to our PJ setup with our pick. Let's put that away, but I find this very easy to play with a pick. I'm not a pick player, but I had some fun doing it. Now, let's do some slappity slap. I'm going to solo the P pickup once more. Here's what that sounds like. And here is our jazz pickup. And here's both pickups together. Oh man, I like this a lot. It has great slap tone with all 3 pickup configurations that we did here, and just the tone is great overall. I really like these PJ basses here. And finally, let's go ahead and throw some drums behind this bass. So here are my final thoughts on the Sire P8 5-string. Overall, this is a great, well-rounded instrument, just like the P7. And those are the key words here. This is just like the P7 for the most part, with some nice upgrades. We get the killer padded case, the high mass bridge, the ash body, as well as the awesome roasted maple neck, for a $250 premium roughly. Is that worth it? That's hard to say. If you're on a budget and you're looking for a jack of all trades, I would definitely look at the P7 over the P8, as these upgrades are more of like long-term quality of life, but can mostly be achieved with a P7. You can upgrade the bridge later if it really bothers you, however the stock P7 bridge is fine. The electronics are the same, and the neck of the P7 is great as well, though I really like this roasted maple neck. However, if you are able to swing the extra money, I do think that the Sire P8 is a nice upgrade over the P7. The neck is very comfortable, you get a nice new killer bridge, and the ash body is well weighted and definitely negates some of that neck dive that you get with those Sire tuners. So what am I going to rate the Sire P8? I'm going to rate this bass 4 claws out of 5. This is a high quality, well-rounded instrument overall, and compared to its competition with Sadowski and Fender, this definitely undercuts them in price, but definitely delivers on the quality department. I believe this is the only bass in its particular price category and pickup configuration that offers the passive tone control as well as the 3-band preamp with the mid-frequency control. Other basses in this price point are like the Charvel San Dimas 5-string. You have the Fender Player Plus Fiji, however, that is not offered in a 5-string, and you would have to get the J bass to get a 5-string. Those Fenders offer a 3-band preamp, but they don't offer a passive tone control or a mid-frequency control. The Sadowski basses are probably the most barren of the bunch in regards to preamp features, where they only offer a 2-band boost-only preamp. Though that is the Sadowski proprietary preamp, and they do offer a passive tone control upgrade for an additional cost. So I say in regards to the competition, this bass still sits very well. However, I'd say the biggest competition for our Sire P8 here is in fact the Sire P7, which has a lot of the same features as this bass. However, this has a few extra frills that you can do without if you're looking to save some money. That being said, the additional quality of life upgrades that you get for the P8, the high mass bridge, the roasted maple neck for stability, the ash body, which is just a nice thing, it's just nice, and the killer case are all value-added items here, which make the Sire P8 a nice package in general. So those are my thoughts on the Sire P8 5-string, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Sire P8 5-string. And as always, until we groove again,